It's a very good afternoon to our viewers and welcome to Channel 2's English News Bulletin. I'm Angie Meher joining you for the afternoon, and we begin straight away with a look at news from home, where President Abdel-Fattah el-Sisi stressed the necessity of coordinating between the government organizations to provide the state's strategic needs in a bid to achieve food security and enhance Egypt's position as a regional center for agricultural goods trade. President's remarks came during a meeting with the Prime Minister, Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, Minister of Supply, Dr. Sharif Farouk, and Minister of Land Reclamation, Ala Farouk. During the meeting, they also addressed the government's efforts to activate the Egyptian commodity exchange and boost the sustainability of basic goods at affordable prices. The meeting also focused on guaranteeing fair pricing of strategic goods, protecting both producers and consumers, backing the local agricultural and industrial sectors, as well as improving the mechanisms of trading goods to control markets and improve pricing transparency. The meeting also tackled ways of upgrading the Egyptian goods stock market to become a platform for importing and exporting agricultural products, produce foodstuffs, animal feed, fertilizers, pesticides, and veterinary medicine to ensure food security and market regulation. Discussions also addressed the international experiences in managing commodity exchanges and ways to benefit from best practices to regulate domestic markets. Furthermore, they discussed covering the optimal use of available infrastructure, such as modern silos and advanced refrigeration to storage to reduce waste and ensure product quality. Cairo strongly condemned an Israeli announcement of establishing an agency to manage the relocation of Palestinians from Gaza and officially endorsing 13 new occupation enclaves in the West Bank. A statement by the Foreign Ministry said allegations of willful leaves the Israelis claim they aim for by establishing such an agency are baseless. Egypt said the displacement under bombings and war and using weaponizing hunger are all forms of forced relocation, which is a crime and a violation of international and humanitarian law. And the statement has called on the international community and the United Nations Security Council to adopt a decisive stand towards continued Israeli violations and provocations. It has called for establishing the Palestinian state within the boundaries of the June 4, 1967, with East Jerusalem as its capital. Israeli occupation intensified strikes that killed at least 23 people in the Gaza Strip as hospitals are flooded with dead and wounded since Israel resumed heavy bombardment last week, shattering the ceasefire that had halted the 17-month war. The dead include 3 children and their parents who were killed in a strike on Waltى near the southern city of Khan Yunis. The Palestinian Red Crescent said that a 9-member Palestinian paramedics team is still missing days after being surrounded and targeted by Israeli occupation forces in the Gaza Strip. Meanwhile, Israeli occupation forces told residents in all northern border towns to evacuate, claiming Palestinian rockets had been fired at Israel from the area. Orders were also issued for areas in Khan Yunis and Rafah in the south. The United Nations said it is reducing its international staff numbers in Gaza by about a third after Israeli occupation forces strikes in the enclave killed hundreds of civilians, including UN personnel. United Nations spokesperson Stefan Dujarric told a regular news briefing the move was taken for security and operational reasons and would involve the withdrawal of about 30 of the 100 or so international staff currently in Gaza. Israeli occupation forces said it had attacked 2 military bases in central Syria on Tuesday, and its troops had also clashed with militants in the country's south. An Israeli occupation statement claimed that the IDF's military capabilities that remained at the Syrian military bases. The 2 bases are located in Hems province, which have been targeted frequently by Israeli strikes in recent months due to their position in arms shipment routes. In a separate incident Tuesday, the Israeli occupation also said its troops had clashed with several militants who they claim had opened fire on them in southern Syria. One person was killed in an Israeli occupation strike in southern Lebanon after a wave of intensive air attacks in the region over the weekend. National news agency said that a raid by an enemy Israeli drone on a vehicle in the area left a person dead, attributing the toll to the Lebanese Health Ministry. Israel launched airstrikes on southern Lebanon earlier, killing 8 people in response to rocket fire that hit its territory for the first time since the ceasefire took effect on November 27th. And finally, Russia and the United States are analyzing the outcome of talks between their officials in Saudi Arabia, declining to give details of the discussions, which both sides had said would focus on a potential naval ceasefire. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said the delegations, who'd been looking into the feasibility of some kind of a deal between Russia and Ukraine, covering navigation in the Black Sea, amongst other issues, had reported back to their capitals. Peskov said there were no plans at the moment for further conversation between Russian President and U.S. President, but such a conversation could be promptly organized if need be. With that, we wrap up Channel 2's English News Bulletin. You're in the company of myself, Angie Meher. Thank you for watching.